Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing today? So Big Blue is just kind of warming up here a little bit. And yesterday I was made the comment about how the net was getting caught up in one of the rolls. So the net has to go over this, under this one, over this one back here, and then past this one, and then it gets fed into the duckbill down in here. So there's got to be a reason why it's getting caught up and then it rips, and then the one side doesn't friggin' have net put on it. Don't know what the hell's going on, but it's a mess. So we got to get in there and figure out what the heck's happening. While he's warming up, I'll just play with it a bit. We'll bring you back if and when I find what the hell's happening. Alrighty, so I'm right here on this one. It's just a little bit rough edged right there, but that's not the one that's giving us the grief. It's this one right here. And if you guys can make that out, that little notch right there, that's quite sharp. And that could be why it's catching, and then as it feeds it tears off. I think on this other end it's not got a little bit of shit in there, but anyway, on this end it's nice and smooth on all of these. So I'm thinking that's the problem right there, because that's got a little sharp edge to it, and that's where it starts, and then it just rips. Because I look at the other side, and it's not like that over here. They're nice and smooth all the way, no issues, right? So I'm gonna feed it on, and I'll try a couple more bales through the slew hay that we got to bale and see what happens. But yeah, it's got to get, something's got to be, we'll have to file that and go from there. Alrighty, so took my old trusty little file. I filed those rough edges off of that one roll and a little bit off this other roll over here. All we can do now is give it another go to see what happens. I've got twine in the machine, so if it's still gonna give me grief, I'll just flip her back to twine and be done with it, because I want to get these sloughs all baled off here this morning, clean my mess up, and get rocking and rolling. We'll bring you guys back after. Alrighty guys, well, that's bale number 2 with no issues. So was that little nick that we filed the problem the whole time? I don't know. We'll keep on bailing and see what happens. But if that's all it took was to file that off a little bit, pretty easy fix. I have hard time believing that could do it, but that could have done it actually. So anyway, we'll just keep on going. Some of these sloughs they're not overly smooth. You just gotta bounce along with them. How's that sound? Anyway, let's get rocking. We'll see how she goes. Talk to you later. Alrighty guys, well, that's her. We're done baling up the sloughs. We made an extra 20 bales, and every one of them got the net put on it, and it worked like a charm. So that little nick, that sharp edge with the nick on that one little roller that I showed you guys earlier, that was the problem, and it's working top notch. How's that? So now we'll just head her on home, and yeah, we'll see what happens after that. CP said something about running to the city, grab a few things, so we'll see what happens. Not sure if we're gonna go here today or not, but anyway, let's get her on home. That's an extra 20 bales for us. I'll show you the bales when we go to pick them. You guys will get to see them at that time. That probably won't happen today, but it'll definitely be this week sometime or other. Anyways, we'll talk to you all later. Alrighty guys, well, we're home. And we're over here where I generally do our wash station, so to speak. Pressure wash is just on the other side of the tractor here. But we got lucky again with this thing. I've said it before, New Holland makes a great baler, but they have cheap ass friggin' bearings. That bearing right there. She's toast. See that? Now I think I've got one, but yeah, that bearing is toast. I'll have to, it just blew up on the last bale basically, is my guess. But I gotta get up there and I think I've got one, so we can take that out and get it fixed and then give this thing a damn good bath, a good blow job, blow all the dirt and dust off of it, give it a really good bath, then grease it, run it, then grease it again, because you get water in these bearings. That's what blows them up right away. So anyways, like I said, we got lucky with her again. So I'm gonna go in and have some lunch. We'll catch y'all later.
Dustin's for hot.
Yeah. So just checking this right here. Now, this is our green feed that, oh yeah. Come over here. Come over here. This is our second cut green feed that we baled there a couple of weeks ago.
Cut?
Yeah.
Put her down. Well, feed it to the frick. They're right there.
Cows will love that. It
Give
smells
it
like
some.
silage. Stick your hand in here. As far as you can push your hand, put your hand in there.
Oh, it's nice and warm.
It's nice and warm. Yeah.
Give it to them.
Guess
Don't be
what?
so stingy.
There's 8 bales like that out there.
Well, 8 days. Don't be so cheap. Otherwise, it's going to go bad.
I was going to put it in the tub grinder.
It's wet. Give it to them now.
It's silage.
Give it to them.
Unwrapped. Alrighty. Now she knows how wet stuff was when we baled it. Talk to y'all later. Alrighty guys, so now what? Okay, the baler, I have a bearing and a housing, so it's all good. I gotta blow it all off, give it a bath, install a new bearing, grease it all up, blah blah blah. But that ain't happening today. Went and looked at some straw. We might be doing that here, we'll see. Maybe tomorrow, maybe not. But we got to get an electric wire put up along our barley. So that's what this stuff is for. We'll see if we can push these posts in the ground. I was going to do electric fence, or like electric stays, fence stays, just rebar, and getting my own little holder, fence wire holders for those stays, but everybody's sold out of those that fit on the rebar, so I guess we're not doing that. So now we're gonna try pushing posts in the ground. CP was worried that we're not gonna be able to push the posts in the ground, but we'll find out soon enough. We'll give it a go. Anyway, once we get out there, I'll bring you guys back. Talk to you later. Look at the dust. My God. CP wants to go home, so I guess we gotta quit. We got the wire strung out, one wire, high tensile.
Sweater or anything.
And friggin', because it wasn't on a roll. Well, it was rolled up, but it wasn't on a roll.
You rolled it up.
It was a bitch. It was all kind of a tangled up roll. But we got it run out, and we'll come back tomorrow to run the posts in and get the fencer all hooked up and move a few bales, right? Maybe. Then get a swather home.
Maybe.
Alrighty. So that's it for today, guys. We'll catch you all tomorrow. Well, good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? Yeah, I got a little red out here. The sun is up high. It's 9:30, quarter to 10 in the morning. It's a little bit of choring, so on and so forth, and we're back out here with this fence. But we had this broken top wire here, and I don't got my stretcher with me. The stretcher is way the hell out along the bush fence over there. So how are you gonna tighten this wire up? Well, I had some smooth wire right here. So how are you gonna tighten it up? Well, I'm gonna tighten it up with nothing more than a hammer. So you put your loop in here, you hook your wire on, you put your loop on this side, you hook your wire in, then you put your hammer on the back side like this right here, take the tail end, bring it around. Just bear with me, guys. Okay, so you get your wire on like that, and you hook your hammer in there, like so. You got to make sure that wire stays in the claw. Okay, you got to make sure the wire stays in the claw here. Then you get your hammer on the back, on this stretch over this way, or you could do it on the other side. It doesn't matter, but see how it is right there? And then you twist. And you just keep on twisting until you get it to the tightness that you want, right? And sometimes it's easier with two hands. But there. Now, when you want to bring it to tie it off, because you can't leave your hammer in here, you pull and you untwist coming back this other direction. So I'm going to get that untwisted coming back the other direction, and then I'll bring you guys back for the final. Alrighty, there we go. So I brought it back, get it off the hammer, twist it around, and there's your splice. See that? Now I got to put a staple in there, but at least my wire is snugged right up again, nice and tight. Easy as that. So that's how you friggin' tighten up a wire with nothing more than a hammer. Simple, simple. Might come in handy for some of you guys one day. Anyway, now off to our electric fence, see if we can get some posts in the ground. Talk to you guys later. Alrighty, so this is our line here, and I didn't quite have enough push in, step in posts, and that's why we brought the wood posts out. But the ground is really hard, really dry, so I went along and I punched a hole, just a starter hole with a bar, with a lining bar. And if I can't push these in, then we'll just pop them out, put a little water in the hole, and then I'll be able to push them in. What's wrong, babe? It's kind of flat. Can't drive it in the ground? You can do it. You can do it all night long. Need a bigger hammer. Need a bigger hammer.
Give me the bar.
Ooh, she's getting grouchy, guys. She's getting grouchy. Not what she's playing with is the ground rod. So I'll let you guys go, and I'll bring you back when we go to try pushing something in. see if it'll work. So talk to you later. Alrighty, so our posts, the ground is too hard, I can't push them down. So we came along and we put water in all the holes, and we'll let that soak for a couple minutes, and then I'll be able to push them down. That I have no worries about, really. We're just heading back to the other end because we started at that end, obviously, put water down, work our way all the way to this other. So now we can go back there. It should be soaked in good enough that I can start putting posts in. Okay, later. Alrighty, so let's see what this does now. These have had a few minutes to soak. And I don't have to push them down very far. Just got to get them somewhat solid, right? That's much better. Just like that. Just as if it's springtime. CP going ahead. Freaking wasp. Look at that bastard. Right there. Take that, you cocksucker. CP going ahead. Setting the posts in the holes that we put water in. And I'll just come along behind and push them down, and then we'll put our wire stays on. Okay, we'll let you go. Talk to y'all later. Alrighty. So, for those of you that don't know, this thing right here is what we use to hold the electric fence in place. So how's this work? Well, it's a fence staple and a piece of plastic. And the fence, the plastic, you just bend it like so, it ends up like that. Slip it over top. There's a little groove, see there? That little groove. And that goes in there to the post. Your fence staple goes over top. That's what holds it. Like that. And then you just pound that into the post at your desired height. That's all that's to her. Simple, simple. Talk to you later. Alrighty, so that's how they go on right there. That's the final product. And so it's got a little bit of wiggle room in there, and it can slide a little bit if need be. Now there's lots of different kinds of electric fence holders, but this is by, who makes these? I can't remember. Can't really make it out. Taft, I believe it's called. High quality fencing accessories by Taft. Where they're from, I have no idea. You guys can Google it. But when you buy these holders, the staples come with. So you get the plastic holder and the staple. Now there's lots of different kinds. I've got this style, and I guess if you want to have it so it's a little bit of ways away from your post, it'll work. It just goes on like that, and it's a straight nail, and you nail it in right here. For very temporary, they work okay, but I don't care for them. How's that sound? Tried them, didn't like them. Here's a longer one, gets it like 2 inches away from the post, right? This style, I find the straight nail pulls out, but again, it's for something temporary. These ones they seem to hold the best, and whether it's temporary or permanent, this seems to work the best, I find. Anyways, there's one other style that we use now and again. See, here's, and that nail that they send with that, it just rips out of that plastic, and it's kind of junk. I don't care for them. This is what I use for my corners and my ends. Seems to work all right for us. There's another style that I use for more permanent electric fencing by Gallagher. They're quite heavy duty, and I really like them, but I don't have any in this bucket. Actually, I don't have any left over. They're all on a fence somewhere. CP's just down there checking some ribbons. And I got to put a little bit of a brace post there. And then we got to fire up the chainsaw and get a bunch of trees off of this more permanent fence line along the trees here. So let you guys all go, and we'll talk to you all later. There. That looks a lot better. Remember how we had all those trees on here? Trees are off. Wires are snugged up. Posts are checked over. Pop the chain off the chainsaw once. Electric fence is up. I think CP hooked it up, actually turned it on. I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to test it by hand. Not until I talk to her first. And if she loves me, she'll tell me the truth. That can be an electrifying experience. And if you pee on it, for all you people that don't know much about electric fences, if a gentleman pees on it, that electric wire could turn him from a rooster to a hen in a hell of a hurry. Anywho. Fun, fun, fun. And we got to get these bales out of here now. So, I'm sure I've got more than enough for you guys over the last couple days. Wrapping bales with net and checking hot bales like this one right here. He's a little on the warm side inside there. He smells them. Putting up electric wire, taking trees off existing fence line and fixing fence. Not much of that, but got her done. And you've seen us haul enough bales this year, so I'm gonna let you all go. Give us the old thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Fun, fun, fun. Let's get her done. We'll catch you all later. So here's all the slew bales that we baled up yesterday. I didn't really show them to you guys, but yeah, it's I have to say, back you up a bit here, for loading bales, you know, every time I grab a bale, I'm always trying to be extra careful so I don't blow a twine or something. But with the net or the mesh wrap, some people call it mesh wrap, I call it the net wrap. You don't have to worry so much about blowing a friggin' twine out. So that way it's really nice. And that baler was definitely consistent once we got that sharp edge. Like all of these bales out here are all actually really nice and consistent with applying the net. Once we figured out why it was giving us grief with the net. So now if you have a blowout, generally from what I've seen, if you have a blowout, it's the one side or the other side, and the whole bloody thing is blown out and it looks like crap, and you really can't tell if you have a blowout where it's not applying the net. That's a definite downside to net, but versus twine, because with the little wheels, if the twine's not going on, like with our baler, and I've shown you guys that, if the twine's not going on, then I know because the wheel is not turning. If I'm paying attention and watching for it, right? Sometimes I miss it and I don't really look if everything's going
really good consistently all the time, then you can have a blowout where the one side of the bale didn't tie and the other side did. But with this net, you really don't have a choice in the matter. If it's not tying on the one side, you don't know until you kick it out. Simple as that. And from what I'm told, all of the balers that do the net are like that. With the New Holland balers though, like myself and both straight pipe acres, at least with our balers, the net box is right in the very front, and there's little holes in the door where the net goes, and you can actually see it turning, that roll turning, which tells you that at least some of the bale is getting net applied to it, okay? But anywho, we got 3 more here, and then we got to run home, unload, and then come back and hit a bunch of other sloughs and get those. So I'll let y'all go, and we'll talk to y'all later.